Every holiday season, District D opens its heart and its pantry doors. Dr. Carolyn Evans-Shabazz is here to share how their holiday Fixins event brings warmth and a full table to families who need it most. Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah. So very happy to be here to share this event.
Yeah, I love having you here because we see you at so many events throughout the city, and that's part of your job, but you're always there and throughout our community, whether it's your district or not, and we appreciate that. I always say we know where people are, we don't know how they got there, so before we get to this event, I want to share a little bit about you. Young Shabazz, it was young Evans, right?
Yeah.
Native Houstonian, the second of 5 children. What were some of your family holiday memories around that holiday meal?
Well, it was always really funny. My dad, he didn't know we had already peeped in the trunk and we had seen all the gifts and whatever. But both of my parents were teachers, and even as today, teachers really don't get the compensation that they deserve. Mm-hmm. So my dad, did extra jobs or whatever.
Back then.
And then later on, they had extra children. Yeah. My three siblings, but we never felt as if we weren't getting everything that we needed and wanted. And so we always had this wonderful meal. My grandparents would certainly provide this meal. We would go to their home and just have a great time, and with all of my cousins, and just celebrate family.
Yeah, all right. You mentioned both your parents were teachers, but the legacy goes even further back than that. Your grandfather had a very prestigious first position.
Yeah, well, he was actually the first president of Prairie View A&M University and the first black veterinarian in the state of Texas.
All right, so you had no excuses.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, all right. Your BS in political science at Spelman College, your master's in psychology and PhD in education at TSU, and you are a former HISD teacher as well.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But it's really funny. I love teaching and I love the children, but I feel like this is my calling. Yeah. I really, that's probably why you see me so many places, because I really love what I do, and I know I'm going to be kicking and screaming.
Each other. It's like you again.
Exactly. I'll probably be kicking and screaming in 2 years when I have to leave.
Yeah.
But certainly, I love what I do, and just to be able to provide these things for my District D constituents is just, I can't even explain it.
What was your decision to run for office? I'll share something without getting political. When I first moved here, I remember Mayor Bob Lanier, I was at an event at his house, and we were standing on the balcony, and he said his greatest fear is that good people will no longer run for office because of what we have a tendency to do sometimes to our leaders. And so for you, what made you decide that I want to run?
Well, actually, I retired from education, if there's any such thing, and I became very active with the Houston branch of the NAACP, and I became the education chair. So I started working with teachers and students to try to get equity for them. And then, I decided to step into the political arena, and I was the first African-American female chairman of the board at the now Houston City College. And so that was something that I really loved. But I want people to understand that you really have to sometimes have tough skin. Even though I'm a crier and I'm really a person,
softy,
because people will say terrible things about you, and a lot of times I feel like you don't really know me, because I think if you really knew me and knew my heart, that you would love me.
You know what you're doing for people. That's bigger than what anybody can say to you.
I know, and when I see people out when I go to the grocery store, and they thank me for some of the things that my district has been able to do, that is so heartwarming. And then for them to know me, I'm still very humble. It's like, you know me? How do you know me? And so certainly they or they give back to me as much as I give to them.
All right, District D, as we know, each council member represents a certain portion of the city or area of the city, and District D has its set of challenges.
Yeah, well, certainly we do have our challenges, and we're pretty big. We go from Sagemont, South Park, Sunnyside, 3rd Ward, South Union, Museum District, Midtown.
So there's a mix in there. It's a real big mix in there.
It's a real diverse district. And so, on one end of the district, you have the museums and the beautiful things that are going on there. And then you have others where it's challenged, where people, may have some economic challenges. Yeah. And then, of course, one of our biggest problems is the trash that people certainly need to get picked up and picked up on time, and that is a problem.
Yeah, because your environment impacts your mood, impacts your psyche, all of that.
Your environment determines sometimes whether you're having crime in your area, because I think a lot of people don't commit crimes as much if the area looks
like people are concerned about it and take care of that area.
Absolutely.
All right, District D holiday fixins. Sometimes people can look at it and say, okay, it's one meal. What's the big deal? The big deal is it's that meal that sometimes makes a difference whether somebody's going to have that holiday meal or not. But I think more than that is the thought and the idea that your city has wrapped their arms around you. You're not anonymous. We see you.
It's the spirit of giving, and it's intrinsic. To let people know that we do care, and certainly we're doing this that day, but we don't close our doors to other opportunities for people. I like to consider myself to be a resource, and my mantra is, if I can help somebody as I pass along this way, then my living shall not be in vain. And so certainly we know that it is one meal, but it's also one meal before you could starve or be really, really hungry. And we just want the spirit, for people to realize that we are concerned.
Yeah.
And then we get so many people to come and donate, and that's a great thing. But we do need volunteers. We still need them to come out.
What do you need volunteers to do? Because you're handing out these boxes, right?
Yeah, help with the boxes, help get the boxes in the cars, all of those things. We need volunteers. We need some elves to come and help.
And how this works is they get the box, and the box can have in it like their choice of a ham or a turkey, cornbread, greens, yams, cake. It's expanding every year. But the thought is there are places people can go and sit down and have a holiday meal. But this way they can have that holiday meal at home in their own home.
Absolutely. They drive by, we put it in the car, give them a warm greeting and let them know that we really appreciate them coming. I want people to not feel ashamed or anything like that. This is for them, and it's, nobody wants to have a party and nobody comes.
Yeah.
And so we certainly are so very gracious for people to come out to partake of this event.
Yeah. All right. So do they have to prove they live in District D, or is it just anyone in need?
They actually don't. You don't need any ID or anything like that. You just drive up, and then depending on how many adults, how many families, then you're served.
Yeah.
Because we don't want any barriers to people coming to get that meal. And certainly some people come and they pick up more than one meal, but I do believe that they share it with someone else,
or really need it,
or they have it the next day, which is still very important.
All right, the one last thing we know about you, you love to sing, kind of like me.
And so do you.
Yeah, okay,
so do you.
What's your holiday song that you're the one who's taking over the karaoke machine every time you get a chance?
Let's see. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore.
Bam!
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, karaoke next Friday, you and me. But thank you very much for what you do. As I touched on earlier, having known several people who are in politics, it's not an easy job. You don't get rich by doing it in this way in the city government.
No.
And so thank you very much for doing it, because it's a calling for you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to let people know about the event. And it is Saturday, December the 13th, from 10 a.m. to noon at the Texans YMCA, which is 5202 Griggs, corner of Griggs and Martin Luther King.
And in case you didn't get that, the 5th Annual District D Holiday Fixins food distribution is happening this Saturday at Houston, Texas YMCA from 10 a.m. to noon. For more information, visit houstontx.gov and search Holiday Fixins. Follow them on social media at District D Houston TX as well.